I'm sorry. I'm a little late. Things were a bit messy trying to clean up from what I had left over from yesterday. Yesterday was a bit of a mess, but what you gonna do about it? Oh well. So, today, number one, I figured out what was wrong with my chat yesterday. Apparently, the the program that I use was actually bought out by Razer, and I needed to agree to their new terms and conditions before it would let me use anything again, and I just completely didn't notice. So, chat should be working again. It appears to already be on screen. So, with that said, minimize that window and get back to my game here. The title is correct. It is not an exaggeration. I borrowed 30,000 gold from a friend who plays as a chibi main, and now I have to pay them back. But in exchange, I did get my hands on the Endless Abyss set, which I have, of course, already fortified up to maximum because, of course. So, whereas normally I might spend a decent amount of time grinding my way through the Gaias just to get some extra dragon points, that's not gonna cut it. So, now I already know that just running dungeons and selling the materials that you get in the dungeons to an NPC is gonna get you about 100 gold an hour. And if I were to try to pay them back at a rate of 1,000 gold a week, that would still be a pretty slow process. Yes, so this is the debt. I got my hands on this here gorgeous, beautiful Endless Abyss set. It's just the regular S5 one, it's not the upgraded, but I saw a chance that I could get it for 30,000, and my neuron activation, I had to have it. I was so close, so I messaged a friend and I said, pretty please. And they said, well, yes, it's fine, I'll lend it to you. And they even said, don't worry about the timing for the payback, but you know what, I'm gonna take it seriously. So, this is the character that I'd like to get to, no interest. I know, my friends are very kind people, but hopefully they don't decide to change their mind. I really hope they don't change their mind on that. But anyway, yeah, no interest, just 30,000 gold. Now, I think I did already make a little bit by selling off some old fortification scrolls. I might regret it, but the basic fortification scrolls, like these advanced ones, they were buying them at a relatively, at a price I hadn't seen anybody asking for a while, so I thought, you know what? I've got a ton of untradeable ones, I'll sell them. So I might have, well, let's see where we're at. Okay, so there's 8,000 there. That's about 9,000. Okay, so I have about 10k, a little bit more, just scattered across. Oh, geez, Midnight's got 1,000 too. So I've got about 11k scattered across my alts that currently we're gonna earmark to not belong to me. That's fine. So we have about 20,000 left to earn. Now, logically, the best way to get gold is to go through the Paragon table, because what you want to do is just roll for rare items, and then sell them, and then bada bing, bada boom, you're done. I got my hands, very luckily, on this Thunder Extinguishing Pearl, and then I looked at it and thought, no, I want it. So instead of just immediately paying back my debt upon getting this item by selling it to somebody, I kept it, and instead we're gonna attempt to try to grind out gold through in-game play. Now, my thinking right now is we're gonna probably try and look at the Radiant Experienced Secret Stones, because these don't sell for nothing, and at the same time I'll be getting the experience on my characters. We're gonna try and hit as many birds with as few stones as possible, I guess is the phrase I want to say. And since we don't often do, serious dungeon runs, may as well pop one of these premium charms here, eh? Actually, I bet you by selling some of these, I could put a big dent inside my debt as well. But for now, I'm just going to actually use one of these premium one days. Yeah, they're all one days. We'll use a premium. Huzzah! Alright. Yeah, we're gonna kit out our Missy. Oh, and that's right, the other thing is, after the stream last time, I was talking in the Discord with some people, and somebody was like, oh yeah, the fusion formulas for the manuals have like crashed in price because there was a Paragon recently with a nice box on it. And so I'm like, what? I went and I looked, and yeah, I found a box. I think it was about little under 8,000. So I've got my fusion manual now. So freaking hype. I'm the big leagues now. Anyway, we're gonna put up the gear. Oh, whoops. I just turned myself into a mushroom. Who's watching as my life skyrockets up? Yeah, we'll use that one. Alright. Mushroom. Alright, we're gonna check out the stats now that I'm baller, I guess you could say. Wrong tab here. Alright, offensive. Let's check where we're at. Overcapped damage against bosses. I'm finally starting to tap into that increase of detail damage. This is a dark element character, so our dark element damage is actually not great because I don't have an Eidolon out, but our damage to dark elements pretty good. I haven't even activated the Guardian. I mean, it's fine. Alright, now for Eidolons, my main dark Eidolon is Eris, who I did prepare. Minor music, I think. And the just realized I probably have the sound effects muted too. There we are. Oh, kind of bugged out a big gap there too now. Alright, so our dark skill... Oh, this was dark skill. I was reading it backwards. Dark skill is now at 180%, and our other elements are all pathetic. But that's fine, because a majority of our damage is going to be coming from the Radiant Star Patrol Vortex anyway. And now that I've got this gear, those party modes that I was suffering so much on with my duelist, those are no longer a concern. For food, I just kind of stuck on a royal jelly for the 15% crit damage. I feel like I'm probably like massively overcapping here. Probably, but I didn't have any other food items, and then I'm using the Triple Strike tea. I'd probably be doing better with Triple Strike food as well, but I just don't have any handy. And then as soon as we get in the dungeon, I'm going to be switching over to my controller, and I just ran into a house, sorry. Yep. Oh, I'm missing something. I'm missing a couple pieces of my gear. Where's the bank? I'm missing my contract. Is it in here? Don't tell me I forgot that on my other character. Yep, I left it on my main. I've actually been running the Dark Abyss because right now the weakest point of this character's gear set is that she is still using an S15 weapon. So obviously not ideal. So I thought that I'd try to farm my way through the Dark Abyss to get my hands on the S35 dark weapon we can get there. And I'm about halfway done now. And that's partially why I was delayed getting started today, because my best character for Dark Abyss is going to be my midday. The issue I was having actually trying to use my Stellar Zephyr in there was that she was knocking everything back, because normally the knockback isn't too annoying, but the Stellar Sphere in the Greed's Abyss, sorry, that was the Greed Abyss for the Dark, it would just knock them back, push them into the reset range, and then you'd have to fight them all over from the start. The mobs are actually the worst part of those dungeons. But I am halfway through, so probably next week I'll be able to craft her weapon, provided that I can allow myself to spend that much gold on something. I should take the greed treasure. Yeah, I think that's all we need. Oh. Oh, and I should probably mention it because there was somebody that was DMing me about it earlier. The live stream from yesterday did go a little off the rails, so I ultimately did end up doing the karaoke sing-along because I was not able to activate the free trial. After the stream ended, I thought about some other ways we might have been able to activate it, but ultimately I was not able to figure it out while live. So, because I wasn't sure what was going to happen with the songs from the karaoke, like if they were going to get claimed worldwide, I decided to hold off letting the VOD go public right away. It is public again now because it turns out that they just claimed them as unable to make AdSense revenue off of it, which is perfectly fine by me. So if you missed the horrible debacle from yesterday, you are now clear to find the VOD. It is up and available. So, if you find that to be fun, it is up now. But I was just waiting to see what was going to happen with the songs, because if it gets blocked worldwide, there's like literally no point, right? I would have just cut out the karaoke part. But as long as it's actually people are actually able to watch it, I was gonna leave it in. So, all right, let's activate all of the buffs. Certificate. I got food on still. These I'm gonna save for a little later. Nothing else good in here. Actually, frankly, I should be using some experience stuff too. Yeah, why not? Mastery Pass, Superior Mastery Pass. It's almost not worth using all of these if I'm not gonna actually go 100% all the way in, but you know what? Today we're living large. And I got Eris. Man, this feels like solo mode now. I kinda wanna fix up my... Here, hold on. I like that one. Yeah, I did have a bit of trouble with the second boss because she has a tendency to stun. And I'm still taking damage pretty good, but this is the first time I've actually had everything together because I did keep the Lightning Guardians orb thingy on my main account, or like my main character for a bit there, trying to decide whether or not I could just end the debt immediately or if I should keep it. But ultimately I decided to keep it because if as a... I'm not going to say free to play because I did spend money in the past, but it was quite a long time ago, but if I always sell every time I get really lucky on an item, then I'm never going to ever be in a position where I feel like it's okay to keep it. So, I thought, you know what? The game decided I should have that Guardian Orb, so I'm going to keep it. This is so much nicer than like that freaking Duelist. This is why I like ranged classes. And again, I don't think that this is the right way to go about paying back the debt. But I'm trying to kill as many birds with as few stones as possible. Honestly, I might be fast enough that I could actually say that I was carrying it. I could offer to carry people. What happened? Sorry, Campbell. I had to unlist it because, unfortunately, we weren't able to, sorry, just a second. We weren't able to actually activate the trial for the AI game, so I was not able to actually completely confirm exactly how it worked past the tutorial, basically. Now that being said, that meant, as promised, we pivoted into karaoke. And because of that, I needed to take some time to confirm whether or not it was going to block the entire stream globally. Because some songs, especially I sang one of the opening themes from one of the Tales of games, and other Tales of opening themes have just been immediately block the entire video worldwide if you use that audio. So I was waiting to see how that would turn out. So when it turned out that maybe it was because I didn't use the official karaoke, I just used like a kind of a knockoff one for that song, it only got claimed as cannot make revenue. So the stream, now that I've confirmed that it's not going to be blocked for everybody, it is back up. I technically didn't miss it because, as I said, it's now back up and you are able to hear it. I did put in timestamps in case you want to torture yourself with that. So it's ready anytime. It was only 3 songs, but it is what it is. I said that if I couldn't get it to work, I'd sing, so I did. The funny thing is I've been trying to put together some way of convincing myself to actually sing on stream for like over a month. I actually started the audio checks and trying to figure out how to, like, what kind of delay was required so that when I hear the music and sing, it actually is lined up properly on the recorded audio as well. Over a month ago, before I did the nostalgic game week thing, I already had the audio fixed up for that, and I've just been trying to put together the nerves. And hello, Resonant! So I've been mentally preparing for it for a month, but I went in yesterday with only like, gosh, 1 hour's worth of prep. Hey, hold on a second, what the heck was that? Was it? I don't think it was just me. I think I saw a weird, like, armor logo appear above his head. Crackle sound? I was struggling a bit with the audio yesterday too, I think, but... on the music? Well, I don't know. It could still be me, Campbell, because I know I've had troubles with it before. Oh, limiter. Trying to bash your face in as quickly as possible here so I can put down the controller. Oh, and also I will, just to confirm that I did it, I did pass the Ruby coins for the first time this month, so I'm gonna call that enough for the Dragon Points gathering. And in fact, it was this set of Ruby coins that got me my fancy schmancy lightning coin thing. This is a really quiet song. Gosh. I need to figure out a better way to balance audio. I don't see any weird errors in the way the audio is set up. Now, I noticed afterwards, yesterday, so basically I was flipping between 2 scenes on my OBS. And I don't intend for this entire stream to just be like a post-mortem on my debacle of a stream yesterday. But I was flipping back and forth between 2 scenes because I was trying to hide my credit card information. and whatnot. But I noticed afterwards that I accidentally was using the... So for the tablet was taking audio from the sound of like what was playing through my sound card, which was fine. But then when I switched over to the blocking the tablet view, it then doubled the audio because the VLC had its own audio track that I didn't mute. So yesterday's stream did have a bit of an audio problem, but not during the karaoke. I actually listened to it, and I'll admit that I was actually pretty happy with not necessarily the talent of the singer, but the fact that it wasn't. How do I explain it? The synchronization between the singing and the song sounded pretty darn good in my opinion. I was quite happy with that at the very least. And then the balance of audio was a little bit off, but I was kind of watching the bars and tweaking it a bit as I went. So, you know, not bad for just no practice, first try. Although I'll admit that for the longest while I kept kind of putting it off, thinking it would be better if the first time I did a karaoke stream was with my new model. So hopefully new model is finished very quickly and I can get it tested out and stuff, and then I can put together like a much better sort of scene for trying to do karaoke. For the next time everybody needs a punishment. Actually, I thought it was really fun. I'm sorry, I thought it was fun. I'm sorry. So it's definitely gonna happen again. See, it's those stun moments against Yagun where it's shockingly long stun. Oh, did I leave the cursor on? I think I did. So, recently, I did talk about how I had picked up the Steam controller. So I've massively upgraded my control scheme for using a controller with Aura Kingdom. One of the ones I actually like quite a bit is that I've adjusted it so that if I even tap my finger on one of the control sticks, the right-hand control stick, it'll use that ballad skill, which is kind of nice because I have a tendency to forget to use it, and originally I had it set to clicking the control stick. But it just takes a little bit more effort that feels like it takes my hand away from the other buttons too long. So now it just automatically uses oh shoot, my weapon broke. Oh no, I know what it was. It's another thing that I've added. I think you guys won't be able to see it. Hold on, I'll have to check my OBS screen. The reason why I died there is because my gear set changed. So as you can imagine, this makes it a little bit more challenging to actually fight. But basically, I've changed it so that up on my right stick changes to my main gear set, and down switches to the basically empty gear set. And the reason for that is actually to drop my HP, because when I'm doing runs in places like Gaia and getting tons of LP tickets, what I want is an easy way to drop my HP, to rapidly use the HP tickets with the auto item use thing. Actually, that reminds me, when I made my silly little short tutorial on the auto item use thing, I used like Microsoft Paint and dragged in a window of a Fusion manual because I didn't think I'd ever get one, and now I have one. I'm moving on up in the world. And sorry, I forgot I turned up the volume because that other song was really quiet. I'll turn it back down again. I need a better way to balance audio. There's got to be a better way to do this. But as I was trying to say, I've set it up so that now anytime I touch that joystick, it'll use ballad, so it just kind of helps me keep the ballad automatically stacked, even if what I'm really trying to do is just turn the camera. Yeah, so when I turn the camera, because I have to touch the joystick, it also uses ballad, which I think is handy. It's just that while I was doing it, I also accidentally hit down far enough that it switched me to the wrong gear set. Normalize audio button on controller. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think what I need to do is I need to adjust the dead zone between using or turning the camera and switching gear set. Either that or just really intensely focus on aiming upward for the changing the camera angle, because it seems like even just the slightest bit downward and it'll pop over the other gear set. Now, you could also look at the solution being to just have some gear on the other gear set so you're not immediately just unable to use any skills. But I don't really want to do that because the gear sets on my other characters are all messed up too. Easy as cake. Are there skills that activate with lower HP? I'm not sure. But basically, the only reason why your HP would drop is because you're switching to a gear set that doesn't have anything equipped, right? Like, hold on here. Right? Switch to gear set 3, and then... He's trying to do it too quickly. I have to sit there for so many seconds. But yeah, because there's no gear there... I mean, unless you were putting specifically gear... Offhand, I don't recall anything that triggers at low HP in this game. I guess the question is, do we still bother with solo mode? I think we do. Because it is just a really good dungeon for experience anyway, and we're mostly after the Radiant Experience Stones, so... Oh, I should have checked how much gold I had when I started. That would have been a good idea. Alright, well, we're aiming to hit 500 G on this character today just from dungeons then. How about that? It's a little over 100. Oh, and because I died, I lost my contract. Come back out. And my weapon's gonna break. Makes sense though. The more enemies you're killing, the more your weapon takes durability damage, and we certainly are just mowing down enemies right now. Just activate that. Take out your room as quickly as possible. Please, please, please. And again, that was a case of switch to the wrong gear set. So it's a good thing that I decided to do this run, because I actually haven't had this issue with the gear set up until now. I was doing pretty good. So yeah, I'll take a look in the controller settings. Oh, Guardian. Okay. Interesting. I haven't really looked at the specific stuff for Guardian in a while because I haven't been working specifically on my Guardian at all. Alright, My go-to for repairing is the shop card, because then I can sell off some of the blue stuff. Okay, now 1 second here. I'm gonna open up my Steam controller settings, and I want to see if I can adjust the dead zone easily. Controller, Steam controller, edit layout, joysticks. Overlap region. Okay, at its lowest setting, overlap is nearly removed, acting almost like a four-way control. At its highest, overlap is almost... I guess the dead zone is actually the internal radius. We want the overlap region. A cross-shaped pad layout that prioritizes horizontal and vertical movements over the diagonals. I think that might be what we want. Okay. Let's fix that. That really distinctly puts us... Okay, yeah, this is totally better. Because I mean, I say as I immediately switch it. Alright, we'll give this a shot for a bit and see whether or not this fixes the I keep accidentally going to the wrong one. I've been trying to like get in the habit of using the trackpad for the camera control anyway. That way I could just completely get rid of the changing direction controls on the right stick. But I prefer not, because it's easier to go from the right stick to the attack commands than it is from the trackpad. Oh, that's right, we already did beat most of this dungeon. I died partway through. So one thing that was kind of nice about the other program I was using, the Anti-Micro, is that it had bars where you could like dial in the exact point on this right stick control where it would switch to up and down. Then again, I was using it up and down for different commands back then, so it's kind of a give and take, because previously I had no way of doing the camera up and down, whereas on this one, the trackpad for up and down on the camera is actually pretty good, because you don't have to do up and down on the camera all that much. You mostly just get it to the right angle and you call it a day, right? I say as I then immediately put it on the wrong angle. These mobs give you so much experience. It's almost like somebody made a mistake when they were placing enemies inside this dungeon. Okay, so I swear, when we were facing the one in hell mode, for just a moment I saw a shield icon appear above the head of that last boss. So I'm kind of trying to watch out for that, because I feel like that's probably related to this guy. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't have my my level up emblem thing. The one where you get a new copy of it every time you bring somebody to level, what, 25? And then you could stack them? I wonder who's got it. Yeah, I kind of feel like I've got enough damage here that I could probably recruit people to join for like a carry without feeling like I'm wasting their time or anything. And then they could be little experience buffs for me too. Need to fix up the skills on this character too. Start a new. Well, you're not going to be playing in this dungeon for a little while. A scrub only just got to this dungeon. Although, to be fair, I wasn't really going that hard on trying to level up Scrub. Scrub was mostly just a bit of passive work. And every now and then when the fancy struck me... That would be a bad time to accidentally swap gear tab. Although, honestly, stacking Ballad might not even be doing anything for me because my detail damage might be overcapped. I'd have to check what kind of overcap I have. Oh, hey, Noctavania! The range on that skill, man. And then the next class that I'm going to be doing this on is probably going to be Ravager, because I really want to see what like a properly built Ravager can do with the flame bounce in here. It kind of feels like it would be insane. But it's going to take a bit before my main account Ravager is really ready to hack it here. Easy peasy. And then, yeah, I think we are going to do solo, because this is just such a good dungeon. Plus, I think it's only these top two that drop these specific ones. And I mean, we might be able to nab like a 100 or 200 G from even a miserable S35 weapon, because if somebody's working on their holy chest, that'll come in handy. I wonder if it'll still sell for about 100 or 200 G or so. I'm not using Azurians. I'm not too worried about Azurian right now because it's the end of the month. I've already got the first set of ruby coins. I'm not going to do another... What is that? It'll be 200,000 more to finish the first one, and then you'd need another freaking 300,000 more after that. So I'm not doing another 500,000 dragon points this month. No shot. I love myself too much for that. Well... Yeah, no, I love myself too much for that. So we're not going to do another 500,000 dragon points all in one sitting or something on the last day of the month like some lunatic. Not going to happen. So not going to worry about Azurian stones. I've got a couple of them squirreled away. Might worry about it a little more once we get into the new month. Now, I've kind of almost done that much before. Like, I have done some pretty absurd amounts of dragon points by grinding Gaia, but right now, if I'd like to focus on the fact that I need to make about 200 or 20,000 more gold to return the funds to my friend who so generously loaned me what it takes, or what it took to get the Endless Abyss set, then Gaia's not going to do it. You can make a little bit of gold from Gaia, but only with respect to selling the emblems that they drop. And 100 emblems does equal 1 gold, so it's not like you're going to be making 0 funding from Gaia, but it's negligible. Completely negligible. It's enough to fund fixing your gear. Actually, I bet this Missy's gonna be pretty high on gold dragon points. We might want to look at actually purchasing some stuff. Oh no, not too high. Yeah, she's got plenty of space for gold dragon points. Although I should start thinking about which S15... Oh, wait, can we buy S25 weapons? I forget. Oh, we can. So I should probably start looking at my characters that are around to S25 and need a new weapon, and then start saving up my gold dragon points for that, especially if I'm actually going to be grinding dungeons. Because it'll take a couple to get the right element. And, I mean, this current Missy's using an S15, so it could be... It would be worth getting her an S25 if I wasn't currently also trying to get her an S35 from the Greed's Abyss, or Avarice Abyss. Why does it feel like her speed's kind of low? It's not. That's pretty highly overcapped. Oh, this is solo mode, never mind. Oh yeah, I must have died again. I lost my calamity. See, normally I would put like a contractor pet that was this important up here, but I think it's easier to put the manual up there because you have to use it so infrequently that it's easier to just not even think about it. Because I would absolutely not even notice once it was done. Or maybe I would, because if I put it in my skill bar, it would have the timer on it, right? Meh. Yeah, there's no way. No way I'd grind that far. Not 500,000. We've got like 3 days, right? I mean... 3 days. Right? There's 31 days in the month, right? Yeah. 133,000 a day? I mean, that's not actually that absurd. Not that absurd. It's not that absurd if you do Gaia's, right? Because you can get easily 100k out of Gaia within like 5 characters and some good Azurians, but like... I'm more worried about gold right now. Oh jeez, I need to get out of the habit of switching back to my keyboard for the escape key because I'm trying to get as far away from the keyboard as possible. Good anime. I am watching a couple this season, but is there one that I would actually call good? Oh. Though I am an inept villainess, I'm really enjoying that one. I think that's my favorite one of all the ones this season that I watched. What else is... Yeah, the rest of them are mostly fluffy. No, though I am an inept villainess is not an isekai. It's set in like a Chinese-style court, I believe. Then, basically, an extremely ill and weak. Oh gosh, why are the words escaping me? The main character is body switched with somebody who is very angry because, despite the fact that She was weak and extremely ill all the time. Everybody loved her. So she body switches into the weak, ill lady's body with the hoping to, like, get everybody's love. But instead, the original person from the weak body is, like, living her best life, being able to actually function like a normal human person. It's called Though I Am an Inept Villainess. It's been very fun, like, especially the last couple episodes. They've I don't want to spoil anything, but it was really fun. Very rarely am I immediately struck with the feeling of I want to rewatch that episode because I feel like I might have like, immediately after finishing it, I want to rewatch it because I just feel like I missed. There's so much more that I could have gotten out of it because there's just so much going on. It's really enjoyable. Sparks of Tomorrow. I cannot say that I even remember seeing that name, so if you'll hold on a second here. Sorry, gotta kill all these mobs so I can open up a notepad, and actually, frankly, this is solo mode, so they wouldn't have been able to take me down anyway. Alright, so that's it for 5 runs of... or rather, all 5 runs that we have access to for that one. So where does that put us gold-wise? Okay. Okay. We'll probably be somewhere around, like, 425 after finishing selling off all the garbage from the dungeon. How long did that take us? 35 minutes, but I was goofing around a little bit. So a sub 1 hour full run is within grasp, I suppose I should say. It'd be easier if I just move my inventory over, eh? Full inventory. I undershot it. I'll probably be at about 430-ish gold. I mean, I did use a premium charm, so it's not like this is the average gold that you would expect. Oh wow, I massively underestimated it. I'm so used to it being like 10 boxes is about 1 gold. Well, maybe we need to up our target to ending at 600 gold for the day then. And then we'll have some more Radiant Experience Stones. Now, I know they don't sell often, but sometimes when I go and throw them in the auction house, someone will buy like a 999 of them at about 300 gold. And yeah, I know that 300 gold isn't a ton, but it's not nothing. Yes, Noctavanian, though I am an inept villainess. That's honestly the one that I'm enjoying the most this season that I'm watching. But Sparks of Tomorrow, right, my notepad. Add it on there, Sparks of Tomorrow. Well, check it out. Alright, next dungeon. This next one doesn't have anywhere near as many mobs and whatnot, so I'm not expecting the same amount of revenue per run. But actually, the most efficient way to do gold would be to do the old gold dailies. Yeah, Apothecary Diaries is kind of in the same vein as though I'm an inept villainess in some ways, especially in terms of the, in terms of, like, the setting. I've been told, and I haven't actually done the math, that you do get better outcome if you open up the boxes before selling them. Like, the average price of the contents is higher than what the box sells for. So even though some items actually do sell for less than the box unopened, it's better to open them because you have a chance of more. Like, the chances of getting more are pretty darn good. Soul Eater... I think that's the one I'm thinking of, right? With, I'm gonna Google it real quick so I don't get it wrong. Or see if I'm wrong. With Maka was the main character, right? With the scythe? I watched that show probably in high school, I think. And the only impression that I can still... Oh, this guy had his stuns. Yeah. The only impression that I can recall is that I was very disappointed at where the ending left off. Get him. Get him! Gosh, it's been a very long time though. I just remember being very disappointed at where the ending was for the... I mean, I suppose it was a matter of they haven't... Like, the manga wasn't finished at the time, so they couldn't, right? Yeah, I really like the opening theme, but you're not going to catch me singing that one on karaoke, that's for sure. Yeah, so my understanding is that because the comics were ongoing, they had to just leave it in a really unsatisfying point at the time when the anime was airing. But it's been a very, very long time. Gosh, I watched so much anime in high school, I had no standards. If it was airing, I'd watch it. Abrupt, yeah, it was like... It really felt like they were just like, oh, this is the last episode, so now we're done. Goodbye. Without any kind of, like, proper conclusion. That's what I remembered from the ending. So, as you can imagine, if that's the impression left behind... Now, if you want to talk about animes and their endings being different from the manga, the way that they decided to go with the original Full Metal Alchemist was like... They still decided to give it an ending, and that's kind of impressive in its own right. I bet you most creators would, like, not allow that. Like, just straight up not allow. Oh, shoot! I keep using weapon boxes! No! And they almost got me with that stun lock. I forgot I moved Ballad. And I'm eating weapon boxes as we're freaking walking by. Aquarian Evil. That one does not ring a bell for me either, though. Maybe I didn't watch absolutely everything. Soul Eater, yes, the first opening theme is Resonance by TM Revolution, and that's a great song. I know the lyrics, but as I said, that is not one that's going to be on karaoke. At least I'm pretty sure... Was it Resonance? No, it wasn't. It was a different one. The one that sticks in my head is Resonance, though. And when you're ranged on this boss, it's absolutely nothing. I remember this being such a fuss on the Duelist. And we get a Demeter. I kind of wish they just had 100% spawn rate in all the dungeons. Like, frankly, these Eidolons aren't breaking the game by spawning and not dropping key fragments every time anyway. I didn't even notice that I had a wrong Eidolon out too. Man, now that I don't need absolutely everything in order to even hack my way through these things, I just am not noticing that I'm missing stuff. It's like this morning when I was running my Avarice Abyss, and then I was transferring my gear over to the auction, or to not the auction, I was transferring my gear over in the warehouse. It was as I was unequipping my gear to transfer it that I realized, oh, I never took a Holy Spirit. And it's like, well, that would have helped. It's just so new, being powerful. And I'm not even... There's still people that are gonna have way more than I do. I've just simply acquired 4 or 5 items in the last week that have been a massive upgrade, and I'm vibing with it. Actually, it reminds me, this thing should be running out sometime soon. Yes? Sometime soon. Come on, we can hack it. We can hack it. The stuns can't get me down. Yes, they can. The stuns can't get me down. Actually, that's an interesting thing, though. This does not have a proper cooldown listed, does it? Let me think. Was the first opening theme for the old Full Metal Alchemist Ready, Steady, Go? And then the first opening for Brotherhood, I don't know the name of the song, but I know the first line because I've heard it so many times. But I'm not going to sing it because this is not a karaoke stream. Anyway. Alyssa. Yeah, it's been a really long time since I've watched those. Witch Hat Academia. Wait, Tongariboshi no Atelier? Is that what it's called in English? Academia? Huh. I thought it was called Witch Hat Atelier in English. Am I thinking of the right one? Okay, so weird thing about that particular comic. For years and years and years, there's a website that emails me anytime any product with the word atelier in the name shows up. Because many, many years ago, I purchased the Japanese edition of an Atelier game from there. Basically, anytime you buy something off of that website, it signs you up for a warning list. So every time anything with that name appears on their website, you get an email being like, hey, we've listed a new thing for this series you like. So despite the fact that I was interested in the Atelier games, and actually it kind of sometimes leaked new releases, so that's why I kept it on, because sometimes they would list a product before it had actually been properly announced, or before I'd even got word that it was announced. It could have just been a language barrier thing because it was a Japanese website, right? But regardless, for the longest time it was just me and my Atelier games, but then all of a sudden it started emailing me every time a new volume of Tongariboshi no Atelier came out. So I have known about this comic for a long time, but I looked at the cover and I thought, kids in witch hats, okay. So I feel really bad that I could have known a lot about that comic by just having some curiosity about it many years ago, and I'm very sad because I very much enjoyed it. What are you screaming about, Blinko? Well, for the Atelier games, my favorite was the Dusk trilogy, and just since then they haven't really captured my attention. They haven't been very inspiring. Oh, no. I wouldn't give spoilers on something like that. I'm very excited to see where that story goes, so I'm trying my best to avoid spoilers as well. Just a story about me being tangentially aware of its existence and ignoring it for, like, what? How long has it been? Like, because I only really actually learned what it was when the anime was going to start coming out and people were freaking out. And I'm like, oh, this comic that I've tangentially been aware of for, what, a decade? People are really excited about it. What on earth is this? And yeah, it turns out I probably should have been paying more attention. Well, the whole series does just radiate an energy of there's a lot going on that we haven't told you yet, so that's another reason why I kind of don't want to rush into reading the comic just to catch up, because I feel like I'm really enjoying the way that the anime is presenting it. So... oh, I should have respawned my greed guy. I have gained a massive amount of appreciation for the artist that does the series, although offhand I cannot recall her name. But like, I've seen like interviews and details that she puts in, and it's just, it's very impressive the amount of thought that goes into every tiny little detail. But like I said, right now, I don't... I know it's hard to say it's like a spoiler, but I feel like the way that they're presenting it in the anime, people have been very appreciative for it, in the way that they've adapted some segments, and that, what do you call it? Adaptation, distillation, in that they've taken parts and they've made them better. And I've seen a lot of people kind of expressing that the anime has done an extremely good job of it. The comic is not new. The comic is quite old, but the anime was really recent. I think it was last season, right? I guess we're already finishing up the summer season. It was spring anime? It was really good. 100% recommend it. That was another one where every time I finished an episode, there was part of me that was like, let's watch it again. I'm pretty bad about that, though. That if a show is really good, I'd probably watch it until I got sick of it. He spawned again. Where are we at anyway? 465. Alright. I'm thinking once we finish this dungeon, the best way to actually just straight up farm gold is going to be the Obobo quest. So we'll probably pivot over to that. And then we'll hit the target. No problemo. Oh, that stuns. Oh, these guys stun too. No wonder it's such a pain on the boss when I bring him with me. Oh, well, here we have a song fitting for this dungeon. Dutch How key fragments. 600 G a piece. I don't think I've got any Dutch How just chilling. But that's a relatively good price for an Eidolon that's not like super hype, brand new. Hold on a second here. I want to check. Nope. It's kind of nice, the search function. I really appreciate that. 10 out of 10, whoever designed it. Thank you for not making it exclusive to Impact. I'm no selling. This person says WTB Dachau times 2, 600 G each. So in my head, I'm like, well, that's 1,000 G right there. That's 5% of my remaining debt. Because I already have 10,000. I think in terms of old Eidolons, or ones that I've got but don't actually need the fragments for. Hold on, mobs. They're on Philosophia. I don't think I need to use Hestia. I think I'm done Jormungand. And Anubis, I'm good. Sakuya Hime? I'm not sure. I might still need Sakuya Hime. But yeah, those are the ones that I've got floating around. So if you need Anubis, or 1 Jormungand, or 3 New Year's Hestia, oh, want to sell 20k for the bunch. No, they're not worth that much. And I mean, in order to afford my Endless Abyss, I actually stole some money from Scrub as well. So technically, I owe Scrub 4,000 gold as well. But Scrub always gets the short end of the stick, so I'm not even going to worry about paying back Scrub until after I've paid back the other person who actually is not me. Good Eidolon for Sorcerer. It depends a bit. What kind of Sorcerer are you? Are you a Dark Sorcerer or are you a Flame Sorcerer? Because if you get that question wrong, somebody might taunt you about it for like 3 years. Funny you mentioned Scar there, Plinko. Is it 3 years? It might be 4 years now, to be honest. Almost makes me wish that food rotted in this game. That way it might vanish. Never to be brought before me again. Alright. I think that's it for the solo modes, right? Or the party modes? Yes. Do we even want to do solo modes here? How's my inventory space? It's fine, we'll do them. So for Dark Eidolons, I personally believe that Eris is probably one of the top tier picks. That's this Missy that I'm using right here. But she's not going to be easy to get your hands on. Slightly easier, especially if you have any of those free keys handy, is this Missy. I think you have to re-roll her stars. No, she does have Dark Attribute skill, but your basic attack speed boost is not really ideal, but she's a pretty darn good Eidolon for Dark and not too hard to get your hands on because they do sometimes give out those vouchers that she's on. I don't remember the last time they did, so if you don't have any floating around, that won't be helpful. As for like in-game spawn Eidolons, no, Verdandi doesn't really spawn in-game either. Gosh, who's a good early game Dark Eidolon? I don't think there's really a super great choice. Chiyu's not bad, actually. I think she wasn't bad. Yeah, she's got received dark damage bonus. Although, once you've started, it's too late to switch your starter Eidolon. So if you want the ready to spend any amount of buying her off other characters, this Missy will do. Zephyrin, I believe, has the lifesteal effect, which makes her very comfy to use, right? Hold on a second. Does she? Yes, she's got the lifesteal effect. That makes her comfy. She does have... I don't remember if the dark skill damage was default or if I've reshuffled her. I might have reshuffled her a bit. She'd be comfy. With the HP steal there. In fact, the reason why basically the only reason I can make it through the Dark Abyss is because I'm actually using let me hold on a second here. I'm actually using this Missy, Percival. She has a chance of double attack, which is not nothing. But the storm skill damage is doing nothing for my bow in there. What she has is this one. And if you take a look carefully there, that says the cooldown is 6 seconds and the effect time is 6 seconds. So she has basically 100% uptime lifesteal. And because in the Dark Abyss, when you're trying to get through the waves, it's kind of slow getting through the mobs because you have less bonus damage versus mobs as compared to like the bosses, because there's no extra damage versus regular mobs. It's just flat, normal, or not flat. It's just the normal damage bonus, right? Sorry, how to explain it better. When you get detailed damage, anything that says just that it's like a detailed damage buff counts towards all 3 of these, but then it also counts towards an unlisted stat that is just your basic bonus of damage versus enemies. Versus bosses, I get an extra 316% on top. Although there might be some weird, like, not on top, sorry, there's some weird overlapping because some of this is going to come from my normal detail damage, and a bunch of this is coming from, like, versus boss damage. So it's not 300% extra, but it is a lot more because I've got a lot of specifically boss damage there. So it's kind of a pain to get through the mobs, and then in the Avarice Abyss, after like, what, 10 seconds, it starts putting stacks on you that just drain your health. And really your only choice is to not really out-heal it because it's quite bad. Your choice is to steal enough life to survive. So Percival is kind of my cheat code for getting through there because it doesn't really matter how much damage you're doing if you're not able to survive. Because the mobs take a while to go down still for me. And I'll just die from the stacks if I don't have something to help me heal. And then I switch over to Eris when I actually get to the boss. Now, if you're looking for one that's, like, relatively easy to farm, though... it depends where you are in-game, but there's a really high spawn rate for Tsubaki, and she's definitely more of, like, a survival-oriented Eidolon, but if you're in really early game, she might not be bad for that survival, and she also has the lifesteal. Healing not gonna do so much for you. She's definitely more of a support Eidolon, like strictly support in helping you survive, but in early game, especially if you're fighting alone, she's quite comfy to use. And plus, the dungeons she spawns in, even relatively early on players can probably solo them, because it's the level, gosh, is it the 45? And one of the 50 dungeons, and those have really high Eidolon spawn rates in them. Not 100%, I don't think, but quite high. And I mean, you can always... Oh, you are working on getting her. Okay, good. Okay, when I say her spawn rate's is quite high comparatively, I'm kind of comparing her to something like Dao-chan. And I have not seen Dao-chan in probably a couple years in a dungeon. Oh, someone was telling me that they've actually nerfed her rate to nearly impossible to spawn. Dao-chan, that is, not Tsubaki. But Dachan's not a terrible Eidolon either. You can always go into LP, but there's so many things in the early game that LP is good for that spending it on an Eidolon just for kicks or for early game doesn't feel super valuable. Now hold on a second here. How much is Tsubaki? She's gotta be in here. Oh yeah, that's pretty darn expensive. Yeah, Zephyrin's spawn rate is definitely not as high as Serena and Tsubaki are. There was a person in the Discord for a while that was offering gold for people who got spawns. I wonder if they're still at it. Maybe I should be trying to run dungeons for them. I think they were doing 200 G a spawn. And I think Zephyrin still has a better spawn rate than Dao-chan or Uriel, so, yeah. I think you need to kill the Eidolon spawns in those dungeons 30 times for the achievements too, so... Going on the assumption that the rumor that I heard before is correct, and they actually did nerf the spawn rate of Dao-chan and Uriel, then I can't imagine trying to farm for those achievements today, because it took a lot out of me back in the day when I farmed for them. Of course, back in those days I didn't have the ability to solo the dungeons either. It was always begging around for people to run with me. And then I've got trauma from the frigid ruins of Zarkazal. And every time I run it now, I get a little thing just a little something in my chest about how scared I am of that last boss. The trauma that I went through. Actually, that makes me think. Hold on a second. What are Sage Stones at right now? Are Sage Stones selling? Do people use Sage Stones? Maybe I should be farming those dungeons that have those. Well, there's a difference, Plinko, between farming something for fun, like I'm doing right now. Maybe not for fun, for debt, but there's I feel like it's a little bit different when you're just kind of vibing out, chilling, looking for something to do, or if you're desperately struggling to get that one last spawn and you can't actually beat the dungeon. 65G for a stack of Sage Stones? Midday calls it dead fun. Well, you know, not much I can do about it. I took on the debt already. I spent the money. Now I gotta pay it back. You could say the same thing for my home. I spent the money. Now I gotta pay it back. They're probably gonna be at like 550 by the time we sell all the gunk we got from this dungeon. Oh, some of my buffs are running out. Okay, I swear I saw a pink armor icon appear above one boss one time in this run, and the only thing I can think of is that it's this guardian thing. But I haven't seen it again since. I'm gonna have to check out the VOD and see whether or not I was, like, losing it when I saw the pink shield thing. We're never gonna see it in a solo mode because I'm one-shotting everything. For a second, I thought I didn't one-shot that guy. Speaking of Sage Stones, though, you get Sage Stones by digging with otters. Or you can get the Sage Stones by digging with otters in your estate. And you were asking about what to do with those extra Eidolon statues you have, which I completely missed responding to. I apologize. But what you can do with them is, if you don't want to set them up inside your house and make cute little dioramas of all your eidolons... Ooh, level 30 armor. Scrub needs some more of those. Oh, and a weapon. Oh, I think Scrub needs that one. Perfect. And I'm a open weapon kind of person. Okay, well, it's garbage, but somebody might buy that for a bit just to use as fodder for the Awakening Holy Chest, so that's not bad. And I'll give Scrub the armor for free since I stole 4,000 G off Scrub. See the difference? I have a debt to my friend, I stole from myself. Alright, we'll pop that over to Scrub right away, that way I don't accidentally sell it or lose it. Happy birthday, Scrub. It's not Scrub's birthday. We'll go ahead and throw that in here so I accidentally don't sell it or dismantle it. We'll worry about that later. I think that's the... Yes, that's the one that I keep locked to use when I don't have my normal gear. Okay. I'm not even entirely sure whether or not it's faster to open them en masse or just a button mash, but it's not like we've got any kind of equipment or sorry, expiring buffs that we have to worry about anymore anyway. Okay, well I overestimated it. I thought we'd be at about 550, but maybe we could still make it. Probably not, though. 530, maybe. Oh, I didn't even grab the, I just realized I didn't grab the quest for that dungeon. Oh well. Too late. Oh, I tried to be a bit more reserved, and I wasn't reserved enough. 520. Alright, so next up, Obobos. I think these are hands down the easiest way to get like just an immediate infusion of a little bit of gold, because the dungeons are old enough that they're not exceedingly challenging, although Scrub does struggle a little bit with the party gainy. New Year's Queen of Hearts. I don't have any of those, do I? Hello, Video Say It. This is Aura Kingdom. It is a very old MMO. What's it called? I don't think I've got any Queen of Hearts fragments, but yeah, I don't. But if I could eliminate my debt a little quicker, then I would have done it. Alright, back to the old dungeons. Titan! I'll start with Gainy. I'm not a fan of Gainy. From the olden days, I remember suffering where you'd have one person attempting to hold all of his... Oh, Abyss of Light too. You'd have one person trying to hold all of his mobs, and then one of them would accidentally die, and then you'd lose all of the progress that you made. Alright. It's Otherworld or regular? It's Otherworld. Oh yeah, a lot of people played this game way back in the day. It was huge. But nowadays, it's a little bit more chill. I just kind of still like it. This will work, right? It is Otherworld. Yes, it is Otherworld. It'll be a cakewalk. I'm way overgeared for this. But the mobs can still drop gold, and in fact, I think that once you're at a point where you're no longer getting gold or experience from them, you get gold from every mob, and I don't know that that's the case when you're getting experience. Or maybe I've just not been looking at it. I refuse to move on. I got comfy. I like the game. I like the fashion. I mean, like, we could take a pause here. My Missy kind of slays, right? Right? Oh, dang, Plinko, that is an amazing idea. We should all submit that to Ahoyo, the next feedback, along with some way to turn off all of the text and signs. Fashion Kingdom, absolutely. The one thing that I dislike about Aura Kingdom fashion is that I wish that I had the guts to change my outfit more often, because I get set in one that I really like and then I just don't change it for 3 or 4 years. I wish I had the guts to just swap around my fashion more often, because there's so much nice stuff, and I get so caught up on the ones that I love the most that I don't ever give new ones a chance to be as lovely. But you know, with my new VTuber model coming out relatively soon, I don't know if you if anybody here was around for the stream yesterday. I did show off the most recent progress that the rigger's done. Dirty clothes. Yeah, I haven't washed this dress in like 3 years, sue me. Seasonal outfits. You know, I've got so many outfits that I already have seasonal wardrobes that I simply do not switch between because I get so in love. Oh, hey, Lousy. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you're not doing so hot. Get some rest. Alright, but what I was saying is yesterday at the end of the stream, I did show off the progress that the rigger has made on my new model. And she's got kind of a big puffy jacket, and I do have an outfit in-game that matches it. So I'm wondering whether or not I upgrade from the current outfit. Okay, so here's the thing. The current outfit that I use on my main character, Midday, obviously, is the outfit of my VTuber model. Like, it literally is. And thank you very much, Lousy. I'm doing my best. Yeah, it's literally the exact same outfit. Hold on, I'll pull it up here. Costume. It's at the very bottom-ish. Yes? Oh, there it is. It's this costume here. The miner's outfit. I've got it dyed to slightly different colors, which is why it's not quite the exact same thing as what you see in the preview here. But basically, I was in love with this costume since it first came out, but it took me years and years and years to grind for it because it is a costume that is from the archaeology profession, and grinding out archaeology takes forever. So I kind of don't want to change my outfit specifically because it is, to me, that outfit is a flex. It's a flex that says that I spent a lot of time doing some very menial things and I got the coolest costume in the game for it. But if the idea is that I'm trying to reflect the VTuber model, Midday yearns for the mines. It's cute, okay? It's really cute. I love it. I love it a lot. But if the idea is that I want the character to reflect Midday, the VTuber model, then there is an outfit that I've got that is closer to my new one, and nothing is going to be exact, but it's got like the puffy jacket, and it's quite pretty. So I might kind of try to flip and flop between those two a little bit more. I don't know if I don't remember what the other one is called. Is it like the Genki Idol or whatever? I think it's in Midday's inventory. Oh, it's not. It would be on the... Oh, no, it would be over here, wouldn't it? Oh, it's not. Maybe it's in my costume storage and I can actually pull it out. Oh, this one, Genki Star. I was right. So this has got the big poofy jacket. So it's kind of got, and like the collared shirt. So it's kind of got some elements that resemble my new VTuber model that's going to be coming relatively soon, but it's not identical. So it would be kind of interesting to swap over to this for a bit, maybe, I don't know. Because the other costume that I use on my main, like I said, it's just like, it's the culmination of years of ambition and dreaming. which is a lot to say for a costume. And I know why Plinko got it in one afternoon, because there was a very short period of time where, I don't know if it was an accident, but they put the costumes for professions on the Dragon Point exchange. They actually had the profession costumes on Paragon once with the area as well, and then they said, we're never going to do that again, we're sorry, because it was a bad idea to put the profession costumes there. But X-Legend, for just 1 week, or was it 1 patch? It could be 3 weeks. They put in the profession costumes as exchangeable for 100k DP. And considering that you've seen me farm 100k DP in 1 day before, that's not much. Like regular Dragon Points, that's nothing. So some people went and nabbed up the costumes without putting in any effort. It's like stolen valor. So I picked up... Oh, did I get the cooking costumes? I picked up the card costumes for sure. Let's see, hold on a second. I think there's some other ones that I picked up as well. So I took advantage of it myself. Yeah, so I got the card costumes. The collector's suit I did legitimately. I did get the chef suit. I did pick up the mail mining suit, so I've got the dude version of it, which isn't as nice. It's nowhere near as nice. And for the fishing costume, I actually got this one legitimately, but I didn't bother getting the men's one because I don't care. I probably should. It would have been nice to just be complete, right? But I didn't. But the fishing costumes aren't anywhere near as challenging to get either. Hey, I was laughing! It was a joke! We're having fun here. Nobody's breaking any laws. I should probably reshuffle the things on this, because Flame Slash and Cleaving Blade are doing nothing for any of the characters that matter. Sorry, Resonant, I missed that. Yes, I would say the Gathering costumes are the easiest, because, it was the first ones that I got, anyway. It doesn't feel like they're anywhere near as involved a process. Did we have a counter for crimes? Oh, I remember we talked about that before, but I don't think we ever implemented it. My apologies, I guess nobody will know how many crimes I've committed. What a shame. Crying shame. Okay, so... Titan's Root. Actually, frankly, for these, it would probably be better if I was using a move speed Eidolon. Because nothing matters here for stats otherwise. Although, frankly, I'm losing any efficiency by sitting here looking for a move speed Eidolon. Gosh, how come I can't recall any offhand? Classified. I forget. Move speed Eidolons. Is she one? Yes, she is. Alright. Again, we've lost all efficiency by taking all that time for it, but whatever. And frankly, if we're gonna do that, we may as well switch over to Pumpkin. Oh, and I'm gonna have all this random ore that I don't need in my inventory too. Oh well. Huh. And this whole time I just completely forgot that I could have used a buff as well. Stats by 5%, move speed 5%. Oh, no, just 10% stats and 10% move speed. Well, that would have been nice to have had on the whole time. Now, I know we're not getting a ton, but we may as well kind of try to trigger all the mobs, right? There's silver to be had, and every piece of silver gets us closer to paying off the Chibi Mafia. No, he's not the Mafia. My friend is not the Mafia. I know, I could have sold my fancy new stuff. In fact, I still have that emblem from last time. The emblem that I made a mistake. I thought I got the fancy one. I got the slightly less fancy one, and then I put it in the marketplace for too much, and then delisted it out of shame. But I've still got that. I could probably still sell it for about 10k, and then I only have 10k debt left. But I kind of feel like I should probably pay back this debt properly, and you know, keep my fancy emblems. Because again, like I was saying earlier, if I just always sell off the nice items I get from RNG, then I'm never gonna have nice items. And as it turns out, having nice items is nice. It's just normally I don't worry too much about getting stuff because I had enough power to be able to do the things I wanted to do. It's just that when the chance to go to the next level was just like right there, 30,000 gold out of reach. 30,000 gold doesn't seem so insane to borrow. Now, I think in this dungeon... Oh, yes. Oh, yo, that's an Uriel! After just talking about how freaking rare it is. Oh. I feel like I should ask if anybody wants an Uriel spawn, because he's pretty darn rare these days. Is that dude in Discord? No, I haven't seen him post in the Discord for a while, so we'll just kill him. Goodbye, Uriel. Somebody could have used you. No fragments. Although I see it says Kaiser... Oh, it's Uriel says Kaiser Zeta. That's a mistake. Right now, solo mode for the other one. So, those two party modes nets 15G plus whatever you get from killing the enemies in the dungeon, plus the what do you call it? Selling the items that you get as well. So probably at least 20G for just running those two dungeons. So 10G per dungeon, not too shabby, especially since it's quite easy dungeons, right? Like there's not much going on there in terms of like difficulty. The two solo modes will net you a 7.5G item. Like it's an item that you sell to an NPC for 7.5G. Not too shabby. Then we still have two more of the party mode ones. So we've got one dungeon that'll net you another 15G one, the Karis dungeon, Twilight Forest, Otherworld, and then of course the Abyss of Light, which is at this point relatively easy. But the Abyss of Light party mode is probably the only one that I can't do on my Scrub account. Oh wait, no, maybe I was doing it. Oh, way back in the day when I was really desperately trying to scrap together enough gold to craft her gear, that's when I was struggling with the Abyss of Light. I'm sure Scrub would be fine there now. And I'm actually out of my iced coffee finally. That took about an hour and a half. Actually, what time is it? Now, I'll have to check after the stream in the VOD to see how much gold I started with, but our target is 600G, so with the Abobo quest, that'll be 45... It's about 50 from just the items, right? Because it's 3 15Gs and 1 7.5. So... we should be fine to hit 600. I think. Now, once we hit the 600, I am going to end the stream because I do have some baking that I need to do again. More prepping for the rest of the week. Then probably do some cleaning. And then we're gonna goof around a little bit more. Possibly try and aim for like 750 gold total on this character today. I gotta keep in mind that I'm probably gonna need about, oh gosh, what does it cost to do the S35 weapons? I think it's like 800 gold for an S35. Well, cross that bridge when I get there. Maybe I should not upgrade my weapon until after I've paid back my debt, huh? Or maybe just nobody tell the Mafia that I'm spending my own G on my own self first. I'm sorry, I shouldn't refer to my friend as the Mafia, considering they're literally lending me gold, no questions asked, and no interest. Twilight Forest. Let's go. Oh, there's a nightmare here. Oh no, that's not the nightmare. That's that thing for the upgrade formulas for the Holy Spirits. I know I'm missing a bunch of mobs here, but it's fine. And at my level, I shouldn't need to worry about triggering the elemental blast, so yeah. Scrub still suffered with that the last time I did this too, was where if you attack both of them, you get the elemental blast thing. This is also the first dungeon with pen, I think, like the pen shields. And they just never tell you. I swear, like, when I was green at this game, way back in the day, before I did my first awakening, I took a little bit of a break from the game, actually. I took almost a year off, I want to say. And then when I came back, it was when the first maps after Awakening had been released, so I don't really know, like, timeline-wise around when Awakening was first released, if there was already the maps afterwards introduced at the same time, or if it was just kind of like, okay, now you're S level and cool. Regardless, I actually didn't notice pen up until that point because I was basically playing alone. So I just never noticed pen. And so when I got to my first awakening and I couldn't do any damage, I was just like, oh, well, I'll fortify my gear, no sweat. Literally did not realize pen was a thing, and so I'm fairly certain I went into my first awakening, which took 3 hours, without actually realizing that I needed more pen. I probably could have saved a frick ton of time. If I had only known. Yeah, there's still mobs here, hold on. Really? Still? No. And lastly... Oh wow, that didn't even take 3 minutes. And the cool thing about this quest is that if you're really dedicated, you could do it on as many characters as you like. It's not restricted to account, it's restricted per character. So, one could theoretically farm a pretty decent amount if you simply focused on those dungeons. It's just that you're also not getting any experience, and there's no shot of getting those the S30 formulas, or like we got that weapon at the end there. That was quite nice. Now it's Tomb of the Ancients? No, Chronowood Cavern. Oh right, I put a button for using a mount on the controller now. I've got so many buttons! Okay, there's also a button for letting go of the controller with one hand for a second. And originally, as I said, I've made this goofy button command where if I hit down, it'll switch off of my gear set, and if I hit up, it'll go back to my main gear set. So originally, when I was when I was thinking about doing that, I was actually thinking of doing it where if you take a hand off the controller, it would switch gear set. So like, if I take off my right hand, it'll go to the bad gear, and if I take off my left hand, it'll go to the good gear. But then I kept goofing up and like moving over to the mouse to control it for a second, and it would switch gear set on me without paying attention. Anyway, this is just the regular Abyss of Light, nothing too challenging. Haha. Are these guys dropping any gold? They are not. These guys don't drop gold. That's a shame. Who's the boss? No. No gold to be had in here. That's a shame. Okay, so this one isn't gonna compensate me 5G for the random garbage that it drops, I think. Then again, they are dropping quite a bit of weapon boxes. Yeah. I was just kind of hoping maybe they would. It's fine. It's a small enough amount that it's not gonna hurt my debt repayment, I'm sure. And these weapon boxes, they might have some nice stuff for like offhand. Like if I get a nice move speed card or something, or a dual drive move speed card or something, even a level 80 can do some nice value still, I think. Because once you get enough pen, it doesn't really matter what your card is. Although higher levels are better. Jeez, I already got 4 of them? Just switching to the mouse for a second. Okay, well I didn't see anything interesting in that. Okay, well, I dreamed the dream. It's fine. Alright, and we're already on to the last wave, right? I was kind of hoping I might be able to get all 3 of those guys in one patrol, but no, it doesn't look like the AoE is quite large enough. There we go. Done. One more weapon box. See, that's not miserable. Move speed and a speed bonus. I think I used one of the speed bonus cards on my guns just because. But yeah, no, if that had been a move speed and dual drive, like that's not nothing. Even these days, a level 80 move speed and dual drive. Anyway, we can just sell off all this garbage here. Actually, while I'm at it. How expensive is an S35? Okay, it's a little more expensive than I remembered, so yes, we do have a fairly hefty fee ahead of us to get our S35 weapon for this Missy. But that's okay, because she can hack it with what she's got. Don't really... I'm gonna keep the move speed card, just because it's kind of nice to have a random move speed cards on like my off weapons and whatnot. Alright, yeah, 15 gold, 15 gold, 7.5 gold. Yeah, we've only got 10 gold left till our target. Tax pick. Oh yeah, I should have the higher one already anyway. And defense spec. There's no way she doesn't have that. Yeah. And I don't foresee this being a massive amount of gold from these boxes because they are pretty low level gear. But we only have 10 gold left to our objective, so we're doing just fine. I should probably set a date to finish paying back, because otherwise if it's open-ended, it's too easy. But not right now. Here we are, 600G. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, and I did a pretty decent amount of experience, all things considered, considering you're mostly just goofing around in the upper level dungeons and then the Obobos. Like, that's not bad for experience. I think we got like a solid, like, 4%. I don't hate it. I do not hate it. But yeah, I think we're going to call it there for today. So thank you for joining me on making I think we made slightly over 200 gold, if maybe a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more than 200 gold is kind of where we're sitting for that in about 2 hours. So yeah, 100 gold an hour, that checks out with what I previously said that I expected from doing dungeons. But yeah, just chill vibes. Not like we have a crushing debt over our heads that's going to collapse on us at any moment. We probably are going to be able to get at least 100G for that S35 garbage weapon. Should I charge Scrub 4000G for that one formula so I can say Scrub has been made whole? Yeah, no, not really. Yeah, I don't think this will sell, but I'm going to keep it for one of my alts. These kind of random ores, soul suckers are usually like somewhere in the 2 to 3 gold a piece. I could probably try selling some of these. I've got a bunch from doing Bond Dungeons daily as well. So we're doing good. We're doing good. About 200G for 2 hours of work. Not too shabby, especially since I was mostly goofing around. But yeah, we're going to call it there for today. I'm going to leave it up in the air again for whether or not I'm able to do a stream tomorrow, because it is going to depend on how my food prep for the week goes. So keep an eye out. Maybe we'll do something again tomorrow. And if you really feel like suffering, the stream from yesterday is back live again. So you can see what it sounds like when I attempt to sing. All right, goodbye. Where is the end button? Me stalling for a moment because I can't find the end button.